Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne, and today I'm going to share with you how to make this wonderful fresh strawberry rum pie. I have made this. My family is going to enjoy it. This is going to be our dessert for dinner tonight. I'm going to share with you all the ins and outs of this nice fresh strawberry rum pie, and we are not done yet. I'm going to share with you how to top it with some wonderful homemade fresh whipped cream. Are you ready? Let's get started. So these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using. I have some rum, my sugar, some water, some fresh strawberries that I've washed. I have cornstarch, and of course for our whipped cream, I have some heavy cream and also some powdered sugar. Now this is an old school recipe that actually I found in a gathering of recipes that my mom had collected. So this little book here, I'm sure it's from the 60s sometimes, and these are probably just some writing from my mom back in the day. But in this little book, I'm pretty sure maybe came from the grocery store, the market, but there's different cocktail recipes in here by Bacardi. There's also various food recipes in here and just little tidbits on how to host and be a great hostess when you're having a cocktail party. Well, in here, I found this recipe that is for the strawberry rum pie, along with a few others. And many of you who have been following my channel know I love working with old school recipes, old fashioned recipes. And so this one, we're going to be trying the strawberry rum pie recipe. Now, the strawberry rum pie, I've actually made it before, and I made a few just minor changes. And I'll share with you why I made those changes from making it the second time. And I don't know if you had also saw there's a recipe for a ham recipe using rum, and I cannot wait to share that with y'all in the future, and we'll see how that one comes out. But today we are making, and I'm calling this boozy, we're making our boozy strawberry pie. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to need 1 quart of strawberries, fresh strawberries, and we're hulling them. And hulling them is when you take out that center part. And I just use my paring knife. I go in around the center and I take out that green part. And when you take out that green part, that's called hulling. That's referred to as hulling when you're hulling your strawberries. And so we're going to be doing 1 quart. 1 quart is the equivalent of 4 cups. We're going to use 4 cups total. So if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you in. And if you're a returner, I want to thank you for coming back. I appreciate all your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and your good 5 comments. I am truly grateful. My channel is getting close to 17,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy the content, I hope you consider subscribing. So next I have my water here, and I'm dividing my water in half. So this is a 1/2 cup of water. So in 1 measuring cup, I have 1/4 of a cup. The other measuring cup, I have a 1/4 of a cup. Now with 1 measuring cup of the 1/4 of a cup of water, we're going to add in our cornstarch. Our cornstarch is going to be our thickener, along with a couple of other things that we're going to do to help to thicken the glaze that goes with the strawberries. So for the cornstarch, I'm putting in 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Okay, and so that's 1/4 of a cup of water and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now when I'm adding in the cornstarch to the water, and I'm using cool water, cool or cold water is what I'm using. You don't want to use warm or hot. It's just going to be better if you use cool or cold when you're adding in the cornstarch, because sometimes hot water and cornstarch, it can kind of clump up on you. And so you want to use cool or cold water. And you want to mix and dissolve the cornstarch, just like I'm doing. You want to dissolve that cornstarch into the water so that way it's nice and smooth. And so you just have like this little slurry that we made of water and cornstarch. Blend it till it's nice and smooth. And right before we add it to our pot, you're going to want to mix that again, because sometimes the cornstarch will settle back on the bottom of our measuring cup. So in my heavy bottom pot, I'm using a medium-sized heavy bottom pot, and I'm adding in the strawberries. Now, we're not putting in all the strawberries at one time. We're only using 1 cup. So this is 1 cup of the strawberries. To the 1 cup of strawberries, I also put in 1 cup of sugar, and then we put in the 1/4 of a cup of water. So again, in my pot, I have the 1/4 of a cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of strawberries. My fire is on, but I have it on low. I just want to gently start to dissolve the sugar with the water. And so the original recipe called for 1 cup of water. Now, when I first made the recipe, the very first time that I made this, what happened was the water ratio was a lot, and I found that it was a lot because the pie was very soupy. It was very, very soupy. And so it was delicious, but it was soupy. And so I made notes that I would reduce the amount of water to make it a little bit of a thicker glaze, more so than a soupier glaze. And so that's the reason why I made that adjustment with the water ratio. Now, once the sugar had started to dissolve and I didn't feel any sugar granules, I pumped up my flame. I turned on my flame from a low to a medium so that way everything can start to boil. Once it starts to boil, it's going to go through a few different phases. You also, during this time, you do not want to stir it. Okay, so you do not want to stir it at this point, and it's going to boil and go through that rolling boil process for 10 minutes. So you're going to let it go ahead and boil for the 10 minutes. And so you're going to start off with small bubbles, and as you see, the bubbles will increase, and then they'll also encompass your strawberries that are in your pot. Also, your liquid is going to go from like a soft pink color to a nice deeper red, as you see. And you see how we have these nice, very large, very big bubbles. They've encompassed our strawberries, and it has a nice, good, strong boil. This is creating that nice, thick syrup, that nice, thick glaze that we're going to be needing when it comes time to make our pie. And so as it continues to boil just like this, and it's going through that process, you're going to let it, watch your clock, set your timer, let it go ahead and boil for 10 minutes. Don't want to stir it. And the reason why we don't stir it is because we don't want to reintroduce any of the sugar crystals back into our liquid, and it'll make it grainy. So that's why you don't want to stir it for 10 minutes. So it's been 10 minutes now, and it's also going to get a little bit foamy on top. As it's going through the boiling process, at the end, it'll get a little bit foamy like it is now, but that is all going to go through the process, and you're not going to have any foam at the end. Now it's boiled for that 10 minutes undisturbed. We're going to add in our cornstarch slurry that we made of the 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/4 a cup of water. Go ahead, pour it in all at once. And right before pouring in the cornstarch slurry, be sure to give it a couple of stirs and then go ahead and pour it in, because sometimes the cornstarch can resettle into your measuring cup or your bowl if you're using it. So be sure to go ahead and do that. Now, once you pour in your cornstarch slurry, you want to go ahead and start mixing in your pot right away. Now, if you end up with little speckles of cornstarch in there, don't worry, those will dissolve. Just continue to stir, and they will dissolve. Now next, right after we put the cornstarch slurry in and we were stirring and those little speckles will start to dissolve and we're thickening everything, then we added in our rum. Now when I add in my rum, I turn off my flame. So anytime I add alcohol and I'm working with the flame, I always turn it off first. So be sure to turn off your flame, turn off your stove, then add that 1/2 cup of rum. Once I added the 1/2 cup of rum, then I turn the flame back on. Okay, and when I turned my flame back on, I turned it on to a medium. I never want the flame to be on the outside of the pot. I always want to make sure I keep my flame underneath my pot. And so I went on and I have my flame is on a medium. Now once you put your flame on that medium, go ahead and start stirring, and you're going to keep stirring, and you're going to stir constantly. You're going to constantly stir. And you're going to keep stirring, and 3 different things are going to happen. Your pot is going to come to a boil again, and you're going to keep stirring as it's boiling now. Your sauce is going to start to thicken up, and it's going to go from a sauce to a glaze. And so you want to keep stirring. Your sauce is going to start to thicken up and start to become a glaze. And the last thing that's going to happen is that our glaze is going to start to turn to a clear color. It's still going to be a red color, but instead of being like a cloudy color, it's going to be clear. And you see how it's made its transformation, and it's nice. It's a clear color. It's a clear red color. And so you just want to continue to stir and make sure that you're getting around the bottom edges of your pot. And so this is what it's looking like. It has thickened up nicely. I love using a wooden spoon because on the back of the spoon, you see how it is coated the back of our spoon. So once we get to this part and it's coated the back of our spoon, I'm going to turn my fire off. I went on and turned my fire off, and then we're going to let our glaze start to cool down a bit, and you want to move it off the heat. So any of that residual heat that's going to come from our stove, we want to go ahead and take, you can even move it to another eye that's nice and cool, or I like to go ahead and put it on my wooden block here. So we have it on there, and so I like to stir it. That also helps it to start to cool down. Now we're going to cool it down, but you don't want it 100% cooled because it'll start to also set. And before it gets to the point of setting, you want to add in your strawberries. And so we went on and added the balance of our strawberries in, and that is 3 cups that we have left. And so we added in 3 cups. Once I add the balance of the strawberries in, I'm going to gently rotate the glaze around those whole berries, being really gentle, going from the bottom to the top. You want to be gentle because we're not trying to break down those nice whole berries. And again, at this point, our glaze is not hot. It is warm, but it's cooled down significantly that we can go ahead and put those whole berries and mix them around. You do want it to be, have some warmth to it, some heat still to it, because that warmth, the glaze is able to go ahead and coat the berries with no problem. I have my pre-baked pie crust, and in the description box below, I'll put the information for the recipe for my pie crust and also how to do blind baking if you're not familiar with blind baking. So we're going to go ahead now and fill our pie crust. I like to start from the side and just fill around from the side all the way through to the center. Now, with this recipe, if you don't want to use rum, you can substitute the rum for more water. So in place of that half a cup of rum, you can substitute it for additional water and just use a half a cup of water. Now, I also have another strawberry pie recipe on my channel, and I'll link that down below where I use the strawberry gelatin, like strawberry jello. I use that, and so I'll share with you that recipe as well. It comes out excellent for another fresh strawberry pie. Once I have my filling inside my pie shell, I'm going to just arrange the strawberries. I like to go ahead and kind of have them all going the same direction as best as I can. I just go in there and I want to sit them up. And this is optional, but for presentation, this is something that I like to personally do. Also, with a recipe, if you like to add a little bit more strawberries, if you want to add some more strawberries at the end when we mix it in with the glaze, you can definitely bump it up to 1 additional cup. So this is our pie. We're going to put it in the refrigerator, and we're going to go ahead and let this chill. You want to let it chill for at least 4 hours. You can even let it chill overnight. Our pie is just about ready to come out of the refrigerator, and so we're going to make our whipped cream. I have here 2 cups of heavy cream, or you can use heavy whipping cream. You can use those interchangeably. And so to that, I added in a half a cup of powdered sugar. We're going to go ahead and let this mix. You want to start it off on low, and then you want to gradually pump up your mixer to high. And you want to start off with having a cold bowl, a cold blade, and also nice cold heavy whipping cream. So that way you can get that nice, thick, beautiful homemade whipped cream. And so once we have it on low and we have our powdered sugar has dissolved, I go ahead and I pump up my mixer. You want to stick around the kitchen and be sure to watch it because it won't take long, anywhere from 3 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, depending on how much heavy whipping cream you're using and how much whipped cream you want to get. And so I also will have the recipe for the whipped cream in the description box below. But you see, it doesn't take too long, and you just want to go ahead and let it go on high for a while. If you walk away from it, it could turn into butter. That's happened to me before. And so you want to make sure you do stick around the kitchen and watch it. It usually takes anywhere from maybe like 3 minutes to about 5 minutes till it's nice and thick and it's all whipped up. And this is what it's going to look like. And it's also sweetened. So we have that powdered sugar in there that sweetened it up. And also the powdered sugar helps to stabilize it. It's going to be nice and thick. And you see how thick and great our whipped cream came out. If you have any other questions about whipped cream, I do have a video that I go really into detail about how to have a successful whipped cream. And I'll also share that with you for your reference. My pie has chilled in my refrigerator for 6 hours. I'm going to cut into it. I'm going to serve us up some. I'm going to share a bite with y'all, and we're going to see how we did today. And so when it comes to cutting your pie, I try to cut like in between the strawberries a little bit as best as I can. I'm trying to get that perfect first piece out. The first piece always gives us trouble, but you know, it's okay. We're going to do our best. And so I like to just kind of get right under there. Just like that. It's looking good. Oh my gosh, we got a nice slice out. Oh my goodness. And so we're going to doll this up with that homemade whipped cream. And we made plenty of whipped cream, so if people want extra, you have plenty of whipped cream. And you can also reduce it down if you need to, but extra whipped cream, it never goes to waste. Plus, we still have some fresh strawberries in the fridge, and my daughter, something she loves to do, dice up a bunch of fresh strawberries in a bowl, and then she tops it with whipped cream and just eats it out the bowl just like that. So I'm going to get your bite ready. This first bite's for you. Making sure we have a little bit of everything on our fork, our crust, our berries, our glaze. Go ahead and take your bite. Now I'm going to take my bite and see how we did. You have that hint of rum in there, but through the boiling process, we cooked off our alcohol. And it marries well with the strawberries and the cream. Well, that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me in my kitchen. If you're not subscribed, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, don't forget to show it some love, give it a thumbs up, and click share. Share this video with a friend or family. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you can come back and visit me again in my kitchen. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.